Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is Wyln News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. Wyln News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Wyln News. Here's a recap of our top stories from the week.
The Hazleton area boys basketball team secured a spot in the PIAA Class 6A quarterfinal following a 60-54 win over District 1 champion Conestoga on Wednesday evening. During Wednesday's matchup, the Cougars took an early lead and never looked back, ending the first quarter 14-4 and maintaining a lead of at least 3 points for the rest of the game. In the quarterfinal, the Hazleton team will face off against the District 12 runner-up Father Judge from Philadelphia. The last time the Hazleton area boys advanced to the quarterfinal was in 2018 when they lost to Philadelphia Abraham Lincoln in the PIAA semifinals. The game will take place at the Easton Middle School on Saturday, March 15th at 2:30 p.m. The Hazleton area girls basketball team also secured a spot in the PIAA quarterfinal following a 62-48 point game against Bethlehem Liberty on Tuesday night. The Lady Cougars will continue forward in the tournament on Friday, March 14th when they take on Perkiomen Valley. With an undefeated record for the season, Hazleton head coach Joe Gavio said the team feels confident going into the next matchup.
They feel pretty good. We just wanted to win. We didn't care about how many we won by. We just wanted to win the game. And we might have got a little tight early. You start looking at the clock, and then they're making a three, you get a foul, and then all of a sudden you look at the 1 point game. Oh, we made shots. They make shots. They count by. And that's who we always say. So I like this team. I trust them, and we're going on.
The game will take place at Liberty High School in Bethlehem, beginning at 6 o'clock p.m. A local soccer team will soon be making their way to Spain for an international event. The Mountaintop Football Club Mayhem team has been invited to participate in the Barcelona Academy World Cup. MTFC Mayhem players were selected out of the top 10% of players in the country to fly to Spain and compete with other academy teams. We spoke with MTFC coach Raymond Crook, who told us more about how the team qualified for this event.
It all just came about by the boys wanting to go to a camp. We saw that Barcelona was coming to the area, so down near Philly. So a group of the boys went down for the week and competed. And then a couple of weeks later, we got an email saying that they qualified for this camp.
Once the team arrives in Spain, they will be facing off against Barcelona's academy teams.
They're going to have 4 or 5 games against different levels of the academy teams, their first team, second team, third team. And they're also going to train. They're going to have double sessions every single day that they're down there. So they're going to be experiencing a lot of different coaching, a lot of different skill sets of different players that have also been selected to go down. So they're going to be training with top competition, and they're going to get to compete against the top teams in Spain.
Crux said that he has been coaching with some of the players for several years, and he is excited that they get to experience this unique opportunity.
These kids have competed everywhere from Florida to Philly, and now we're going to Spain. A couple of them even train with the Philadelphia Union at this point. So these kids put in a lot of work, and they're really putting mountaintop soccer on the map and helping us achieve things that we've never really achieved in our local area. So it's kind of cool to see.
Outside of the academy team matches, Crux said that the team will experience other activities during their time in Spain.
The first day they get there, they're going to go see Barcelona, the professional team. They're going to get to go see them in their home match. They're going to get to go train on the Mediterranean Sea one day, and a couple other different things throughout the week where they're going to get out and sightsee and experience the culture of Spain.
We also spoke with one of the players, Daniel Benyo, who told us what it's been like preparing for this trip.
It's very exciting, it took a lot of work to get here, and it's just been a pretty fun journey, and starts here.
From all of us here at Wyln, we would like to wish MTFC Mayhem the best of luck as they travel to Spain.
Coming up on WYLN News, Chris Fulmer takes us down the path through history with Williamsport, Part 4. Plus, we check in with State Representative Dane Watrow on Watrow's weekly update. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network and Jefferson Health, investing in your well-being and building healthier communities, because more expertise and convenient care mean better outcomes and a healthier you. Learn more at lvhn.org/Jefferson.
My name is Addie, and my work will be cloudy.
Weather Kids is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. Your health deserves a partner.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central, and our trained sleep professionals are here to help you sleep like never before. With an extensive line of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we are sure to find you the right mattress at the right price. Free delivery and removal, interest-free financing for up to 60 months, and same or next day delivery on select models.
And don't forget, everyday low prices. Stop in to one of our 2 locations, Route 93 in Nescopec,
Or downtown Hazleton.
and see why Northeast and Central Pennsylvania sleeps better with Grand Central.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner. A Path Through History is sponsored by the Old Jail Museum, 128 West Broad Street in Jim Thorpe. Call 570-325-5259 or visit them online at theoldjailmuseum.com.
While Sylvandale Park closed to Williamsporters at the beginning of the 1930s, other amusement parks in the area would fill its void. One was Max M. Brown Memorial Park, which was opened in 1924. The land for it had been donated by Standard Woodpipe Company President Jacob C. Brown, and the park was named in honor of his late brother. The park featured its own roller coaster, and other rides included a Ferris wheel, whip ride, and bumper cars. A baseball diamond was added in 1926, and other non-ride amenities would include a dance hall, skating rink, tennis courts, and a swimming beach. Memorial Park also featured a zoo from the late 20s until it was destroyed in a fire in 1936. While the rides have since been removed, Memorial Park is still in use as a municipal park today. for Williamsport, complete with its own pool. Another Williamsport area amusement park would open along Lycoming Creek on August 8, 1931. It was owned and operated by sisters Beatrice, Henrietta, and Victory Baumgart, who had previously owned a roller skating rink at Sunbury's Island Park. A contest was held to name the new park, and the winning entry of Sunset Park was given by 15-year-old Ruth Sadler of Williamsport's Newberry section and 9-year-old Betty Bratzler of Montgomery. Both girls split a $50 prize. The opening festivities of the park including a hot air balloon demonstration, an orchestra, and fireworks, as well as parachute jumps all week by Miss North Carolina Patricia Holderness. Guests to Sunset Park could ride numerous attractions, from an airplane ride to a carousel to a whip to a Ferris wheel. A 2,000-foot-long beach, skating rink, and picnic pavilions were also on the property. Numerous famous band leaders would play shows at the park over the years, from Ozzie Nelson to Benny Goodman to Guy Lombardo. Sunset Park closed in the early 1950s, and a Wise store stands on the property today. Living along the Susquehanna's West Branch always put Williamsport residents at the mercy of the river during floods. And one of the worst in the city's history struck on March 17th and March 18th, 1936. 4 inches of rain fell throughout the state after a quick warm-up, which quickly melted a heavy snowpack in the Williamsport area. The waters rose to nearly 34 feet and inundated 70% of the city, knocking out power. The only remaining connection to the outside world during this time was a WRAK radio, which was able to stay on the air by continued use of emergency car batteries. The station coordinated with Al Glaze, who transmitted from them via shortwave radio from his house on High Street above the floodwaters. Locally, the flood became known as the Hello Al flood, from Glaze's signature while sending messages about the whereabouts of flood victims that had come to him to report their status. In the aftermath of the flood, Williamsport would build a higher levee on the river to prevent similar damage from happening again. Calm permeated the nation in the ensuing years, even as storm clouds broke elsewhere around the world. Hawaii seemed as far away from the fighting as possible from those there. Among those there on December 7, 1941 was Joe Lockard, who had been born in Williamsport in 1922. He had been assigned to operate the radar installation at Opana Point with trainee George Elliott. The two men arrived for their shift around 7 a.m. that morning. No sooner had they turned on the radar than a massive blip appeared on the screen, bigger than anything Lockard had ever seen before. Lockard and Elliott plotted the blip outward and determined it was about 137 miles from Hawaii. Lockard grabbed the phone and called around to Port Shafter, only to find the switchboard staff was out to breakfast. Finally, he was able to get through to Lieutenant Kermit Tyler on the line. Tyler, however, told Lockard not to worry, believing the blip to be a squadron of B-17s that were scheduled to arrive at Pearl Harbor later that day. Lockard and Elliott continued with their shift, leaving the installation at 8 o'clock for breakfast. It was then that they saw black smoke rising over the island. Far from being B-17s, the blips were in fact Japanese Kate and Val bombers, and Pearl Harbor had been their target. Over 2,000 people would die in the attack that might have been blunted if Lockard's warning had been taken more seriously. Following the attack, Joe Lockard would continue working radar throughout the subsequent war in the Aleutians. After the war, he worked for the Pennsylvania Railroad, Sylvania Electric, and AMP Incorporated until his retirement in 1986. Joe Lockard died in 2012 and rests today in Harrisburg's Blue Ridge Memorial Gardens. Minor League Baseball has been a fixture in Williamsport for decades. The Williamsport Grays began play in the New York Penn League in 1923, which would eventually evolve into today's Class AA Eastern League in 1938. 3 years later, the franchise moved into historic Bowman Field when it first opened. The team would be renamed the Williamsport Tigers in 1946 when the Detroit Tigers gained affiliation with the team, and again to the Williamsport Athletics in 1953 when the then Philadelphia A's took over, before reverting back to the Grays name in 1954. This team won league titles in 1923, 1934, and 1960. It shut down in 1962. The loss would be filled 2 years later when the Williamsport Mets came to town. Hall of Famer Nolan Ryan pitched for the Mets, as did future ace New York Mets pitcher Jerry Koosman. The franchise dropped down to the Class A short-season New York Penn League in 1968, at which point its affiliation switched to the Houston Astros, as too did the team's nickname. It switched again to the Boston Red Sox in 1971 before the team folded a year later. Eastern League Baseball returned to Williamsport in 1987 when the Williamsport Bills were formed. They would stay in Williamsport through 1991 before moving to Binghamton, and would be affiliated with the then Cleveland Indians, Seattle Mariners, and New York Mets during that time. One of the most unusual moments in the history of organized baseball took place in August 1987 in a game against the Reading Phillies. Bills catcher Dave Bresnahan secretly switched gloves with a Reading runner on third, with the new glove containing a peeled potato. After the next pitch was thrown, Bresnahan threw the potato past third base, enticing the runner to sprint home, where Bresnahan tagged him out with the actual ball. Furious at the attempted deception, the umpire gave the runner the score, and the Eastern League banned Bresnahan for his actions. Williamsport fans, in contrast, approved of Bresnahan's ingenuity and retired his number years later. After a 2-year hiatus, minor league ball came back again to Williamsport in 1993, when the Geneva Cubs of the New York Penn League relocated to Lycoming County. After 5 seasons as the Williamsport Clubs, the team was rebranded to the Williamsport Crosscutters when the Pittsburgh Pirates took over the team. Under the Pirates' ownership, the Crosscutters won league titles in 2001 and 2003. The Philadelphia Phillies assumed control of the Crosscutters in 2006 and were the organization's parent club until the New York Penn League was disbanded following a major reorganization of the minor leagues in 2020. The Crosscutters moved to the new MLB Draft League with several other former New York Penn League teams and remain there today as beacons of Williamsport's baseball history.
Welcome back to Feel Good Friday. I'm joined by Dr. John. Dr. John, how's it going?
Hey Ryan, very good. I'm glad to be here every day.
Yep, and we're going to talk about gardening today because even though there's still snow on the ground, gardening's right around the corner.
You know, folks, I will never move out of Hazleton. I know friends who move down south. I like the different seasons, but it'll be a joy when spring comes back. So yes, I have a garden. It'll be a joy to get rid of the snow when I make sure there's no weeds in my garden, and then I rototill my garden. My point is, don't do too much forward bending. People around there will dig 15 tomato plant holes, garlic, and try to do a bit at a time, Ryan. Maybe one day I'll go out and either rototill, loosen up the dirt. Then I'll put the manure or the bone meal, let it get settled in. So then 2-3 weeks later, I dig the holes. Then I buy the plants. But it's such a joy to watch my flowers or my vegetables grow. So flowers and vegetables, to me, keeps our brains happy. It's better with time management, but take your time. Do a little bit at a time, not a lot of forward bending, and gardening to me is a joy.
Yep, gardening is a joy, and it's coming up soon, but I'd like to thank Dr. John for joining us on this Feel Good Friday, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
Are you sitting at home living in pain? Maybe it's in your hands, maybe your back or your hips. The good news is you don't need to live in pain. Why? Because there is Omega XL, a one-of-a-kind, natural, powerful joint relief supplement created from the green lip mussels of New Zealand. Drug-free, non-habit forming. It's small, easy to swallow, and it's backed by more than 40 years of clinical research. As I was getting older, my joints started to feel that wear and tear. But then I tried Omega XL, and it changed my life. If you're experiencing daily aches and pains due to aging and overuse, try Omega XL and see the difference it can make in your life.
Buy one, get two free. 2 bottles of Omega XL plus Vitamin XL D3, a value of more than $85. Call today and you pay only $39.95. Plus, you have nothing to lose because it's backed by our 60-day money-back guarantee. Call now.
Something is out there. What it is, no one knows. However, since its first sighting, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the night sky. Some say they are extraterrestrials, flying saucers. But to all of those seemingly unrelated uncertainties, there is one common thread.
Solo Spaceman. Watch Solo Spaceman on WYLN Thursdays at 1:30, Saturdays at 7, and Sundays at 4:30.
Welcome back to Watro's Weekly Update. I'm joined here as always with State Representative Dane Watrow. Dane, how's it going today?
Very good, thank you. Weather's getting warmer, so I'm happy.
Yep, it's definitely getting a lot warmer. I'm always all here for it, so it's really nice to see the quick warm-up coming up here in Hazleton. And speaking of Hazleton, I know we want to talk about today a huge update that the fire station here on Broad Street got in the past week with the new line of trucks.
Yeah, I was very happy to be able to secure some funding for the Hazleton City Fire Department, and they were to get their first responders trucks up in service and running. That's a great thing. I know we said in previous segments that how important it is to make sure when you dial that 911 or pull that fire alarm that our first responders are there to service us and protect us. So this is one tool that's going to be necessary for them to make sure that they're there in a timely fashion. I'm very happy. I spoke with the chief. Chief said they're all super excited about the new equipment, and he promised me a ride. So we're going to take a ride at some point and check that out firsthand. So I'm very excited about that. It's always good when both I and Senator Argel are able to help in that capacity, especially with our first responders. So super excited. Another fleet there they have in the Hazleton Fire Department, and just happy to be part of it.
Yep. Hopefully you get that ride soon with the chief.
I hope so, yeah. Yeah, I'll take some pictures and maybe put it on Facebook. So
very nice. Do we know when the trucks will be in service by the fire station? Do you know if they have used them already?
Yeah, they're actually, yes, I actually met with the chief just yesterday, and he had it, and he said everything's going good. They're running smooth and good, so I'm knock on wood. Hopefully they have a very lifelong expectancy with those trucks.
Very nice. Yep. Hazleton residents will probably be seeing those trucks around in the coming days.
Yes,
so.
I'm sure. And a good thing too that their older vehicles are being cycled through the city. I think maybe code enforcement, the mayor said, that's what his plans are. So it's everybody's benefiting from it. So I'm very happy to hear the good work that's being done.
Very nice update from the Hazleton Fire Department.
Yes.
Definitely well deserved there. I know you also want to talk about a recent event you had with the YMPA earlier this week, if you wanted to tell us more about that.
I'll tell you what, now I'm a proud member of the Young Men's Polish Association there, and that's a club that's in Hazleton. They had their 87th communion breakfast. It's an organization, clearly, that's been around 87 years here in the Hazleton area, and they do so much. And when I got up to speak, I was very, looking for things to speak about. And the week prior, I went on their social media page and was just looking at the work they do. And, they had a benefit for a child that was struggling for some medical reasons, and they're raising funds and donating funds to the family. The work that they do, I told them all, it was a great crowd as well. Every seat was, every table was taken, every seat was filled. That their club and what I do is very similar. It's about helping people. So I'm glad to be a member of that YMPA association right now, and hopefully give back in a different capacity than what I'm able to give here as state representative. But it was great. I presented them with an award. They actually gave me a very nice plaque as well for participating in their 87th annual communion breakfast. So yeah, great stuff happening here in the greater Hazleton area. And once again, I give it to you all at Wyln here to get out the good work that's being done in our communities. Let's face it, there's so much negative stuff we hear a lot of times, but here we really get to talk about all the good work that's being done. So thank you, and thank this news station for the great work that you continue to do.
Absolutely. Good news is always important here.
Yeah, and I know we were talking about Dr. Seuss earlier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I heard that you got to visit a few schools for Read Across America Week, and just got to read to so many different classes all over the Hazleton area.
So many different classes. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, I am definitely Dr. Seussed out, but it was so awesome to be with the young children within our district and just seeing the glow on their faces. I brought from my office like coloring books and material to pass out to the kids, and they're just super excited. Every school I was at, I did 9 classes I read to. Every student and I'm saying every student, were so appreciative, paid attention, listened to the story, so thankful and it was just great to be back in that setting and be a part of it. Kudos to all of my school districts I represent, and they're doing a fabulous job, and they're stressing the importance of reading, which is very, very important, and was just happy to be part of that.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's like really important for events like that when important officials like you come out to schools like that and instill that into them at such an early age, and hopefully that encourages them to keep reading as they get older and get through the rest of life, basically. So,
absolutely, yeah. Reading is definitely one of the key components for a good education setting. One of the things, I totally forgot about, guess who I had down at Capitol this week?
Oh, really? Who?
The chorus, the Hazleton area chorus. Phenomenal job.
Yes.
I don't know, you could catch them on my Facebook. Did you see them at all?
I believe I did, yeah. No, they're a very talented group over there, yeah.
Super talented. I was just taken back. I had a meeting I had to get to, and I started walking away, and I turned around and walked back. I said, I can't leave. Like, I gotta continue to listen to this, and the instructor there is phenomenal. I know she sings in a choir in a local church, and just the children, passionate, and you could hear it, see it. It was great to have them down at the Capitol, the Hazleton Area School District Choir. I hope they're going to come back next year. I think this is Music Month this month.
Music in Their Schools Month, I believe.
Okay, yeah. So it was. I'm very excited to have hosted them down at the Pennsylvania State Capitol.
Yeah, very nice to hear that. Yeah, always a really talented group. Always seen them go around and just always perform at their very best. Just a very talented group over there in Hazleton. So
yeah.
Yep. Well, as always, I want to thank State Representative Dean Watrow for joining us here on Watrow's Weekly Update. We'll see you next time.
Walk in and you walk into the region's most trusted health network.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Hello, I'm WYLN historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.